welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the life path number 3 in Chaldean numerology. So it's also called Fadic number, of course, guys. There's different compound numbers that are associated with the 3. The 3 has in Chaldean numerology what we call the masculine winner mentality, meaning 3s like to do it themselves. They're very competitive, very driven, very creative, and they have a great social dynamic as well, which makes them inspiring sort of artists, musicians, people that end up becoming like publishers or athletes. Anything of the sort, they're definitely able to do quite well, and it does work really, really good for them. I'm going to go over all of the compound life path numbers associated with the 3 today. So first one I want to go over is the number 12. The number 12 in Chaldean numerology, even though it's represented by the sun and the moon, which add to 3, 1, 2, 3, it is a very special number because of that synchronicity, but however, because of the high levels of energy, it does lead the person that's the host to have a lot of anxiety and stress. Because think about it, you have a lot of the power of the number 1, which is the sun, the number 2, which is the moon, which adds number 3, which is Jupiter. So you're having like a battle between your masculine and feminine side, whether you be a man or a woman, and that causes you to sort of view things in a very different way. Social dynamics, even though you're a 3, you may find difficult. You might be overreading people a lot, looking in between the lines and not realizing that you're actually alienating yourself and not actually looking at what's real. So you just want to make sure that you are understanding people's perspectives and you're able to, I guess I would say, sort of respect them for who they are, and also not make sure you just don't overthink things to the point where you just lose friends for like a real no reason whatsoever. So you just have to make sure that you're actually looking at things, and not everything is below the surface, for lack of a better word here. As long as you're able to control the anxiety with some sort of like artistic expression or a hobby, even just going to the lake, doing something where you're able to sort of just be yourself and be mindful and be in the moment versus always like having your mind racing. That's really going to help you a lot. The number 21 is slightly different, even though it's the same composition of numbers. The number 21 has a very strong winner mentality. These people climb up social hierarchies very quickly. These are the social media star type people. These are the people that like to really win when it comes to sports. Any sport that they're in, they're just going to want to be the best at it. And they really hate outsourcing. Unlike the number 12 that will outsource, the number 21 will not whatsoever. They really like to just do everything themselves. They like having their independence, and they really view life as something where they cannot trust other people. Even though the 21/3 does alienate people, that this said life path, it actually sort of works for them. They view it as, I'm successful, I don't owe anybody anything, they didn't do anything for me, bam, 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 and they just really don't care in that sense. So it equates to their success to a certain extent. The karmic lesson is to have some codependency, of course, not to be overly independent to the point where you actually sabotage yourself in ventures where you would just naturally need help, or you do need a group dynamic. So just be wary of that and make sure that you still are dealing with people. What a lot of people get mistaken, which is what Chaldean numerology has showed me, is that your life path number, as much as it shows like your main characteristics and how your life is going to be, it's also introducing to you your number 1 challenge in life. So even though 3 is considered the most social number to a certain extent, that's also where a lot of challenges and obstacles are going to come from. So you just want to make sure that you are understanding that and accepting it as a challenge, and then you can just have fun with it in the process, because this is one of the funnest challenges you could have. Like life path 8s, they have money, 4s have family problems, 3s, you have a social sort of problem, and it's not really that much of a problem. You're meant to be here to learn how to expand yourself, expand your mind, and actually interact with different groups of people from different parts of the planet. It's not so bad at all. The next one is number 30. This is the most philosophical 3 because just 3 amplified. These people are very, very, they're kind of like the know-it-alls. I have met a few life path 30s in my time. They have a philosophical bend, and they can be very, very, very smart. They have genius level IQ for sure. These are the only 3s that will probably end up going into things like politics or like science, things like that. They like to really reform things. Like they still have the natural need of Jupiter to expand in whatever it is that they do and become known for it, but they'll do it not necessarily in the artistic span. They might go somewhere else and show their talents there. These people can do anything from being mathematicians, like I said, technicians, engineers. They do other things, but best believe they will be very known for it. The 3, Jupiter, is the biggest planet in our universe. So everybody that's under the number 3, no matter what life path composition they have, they want to be known in some sort of way for something. The final one is the 39 over 3. This is the most aggressive version of the life path 3. So 39 is Jupiter, and then you have 9, which is Mars, which of course gives us 12, and then 3 again. So the 39 here, those numbers make the 3 very, very aggressive. 3 and 9 really benefit one another in Chaldean numerology, and it makes the person that's pursuing success very aggressive about it, and they can be quite ruthless, running people over in the process. They can use people for their needs. They're able to really, I would say, categorize their friends. They're able to understand their enemies and see through them. And they do aim also for long-term vengeance. These are types of people that you do not want to really, I would say, piss off, because they will remember you and they will come back for you when the time is right. Even if you think they forgot about you, they will leave you for a certain time, because everything in their life is quite organized. Mars makes them militantly disciplined, so they're able to really stick with things, keep their composure, but when they're going to attack, you will not see it coming. These people have a similar problem with the 21 over 3. They could be overly independent to the point where they do sabotage certain ventures that they're in. But like I said, the 21 and the 39 are some of the strongest 3s. Even though they're overly independent, they very often do get success from that independence anyways. But that is your lesson, is to just learn codependency, to learn to trust other people more with certain tasks. But you guys just have a very masculine winner mindset, where it's just all about, if I can't do it, I guess it's not going to get done. And that's you guys' motto. However, if you're able to balance that with learning to see people that are in your social group that can actually be of use to you, you'll have a lot easier time getting to the top. But aside from that, guys, that should conclude all of the life path 3 scenarios in Chaldean numerology. Those are the compositions. I noticed some of the comments for the number 2 video, you guys were asking about like the 47. It doesn't go up there for life paths. For the name numbers it does, but for the life path it only goes to 45. I just wanted to get that cleared up, and that's why you don't hear me going anything over 45 for the destiny numbers here. But if you guys do have any questions whatsoever, just please let me know in the comments. Aside from that, guys, please like, subscribe. All that means it for today, guys. Peace.